This is my new to me 2023 Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Explorer. Say that 5 times fast. I wanted to do a bike reveal mostly just because I didn't want it to pop up in a video and somebody be confused and wonder why I'm on a different bike. I've really gotten to a point that I enjoy motorcycle trips so much that I would like to be able to do it for longer distances, and this allows me the capability to do that. This is a better suited bike for touring, obviously, than my MT-10. Nobody ever accused an MT-10 of being a touring machine. Sure, it can be done, but this Triumph Tiger will be more comfortable, particularly for longer trips. As stated, this is the GT Explorer version. If you're not familiar, that means that this is more road oriented. Since I was focused on finding a touring bike, I'm just looking for a road focused bike. I have zero intentions of taking this bike off-road. As I stated, the motivation behind purchasing this bike is it will give me the ability to more comfortably do long trips. As stated, I know you can do trips on any bike, but comfort is becoming an increasing factor for me as I age. If you're wondering if I already have a trip in mind, yes, I do. That was in part the catalyst for buying this bike. I actually decided a few months ago that I would be doing a trip, which is coming up just in a few weeks. As I started planning the trip and really putting thought into how long it was going to be, how many miles I would be doing day in and day out, I became increasingly aware that the MT-10 was going to be a bit taxing for me for a trip of that length. But I was going to do the trip regardless. That just kind of sped up the process of buying a more touring oriented bike. I'm not going to go into the specs and details of this bike, mostly because I really want this channel to be more about riding and the experience of riding that all of us share, and less so about what I'm riding or what you're riding. Now we'll just go for a ride, and I'm going to share with you what trip I have planned for my first big adventure on this Triumph Tiger 1200. As far back as I can remember, I've always liked the idea of traveling and experiencing new places, being some place that I've never been before. It's something I remember thinking about as a kid, just wondering what other parts of the world were like, and even what other parts of my own country were like. And somewhere along the way in my childhood, I decided that I wanted to visit all 50 states in my lifetime. So far, I have been fortunate enough to visit 44 of the 50 states in America. A few months ago, I decided that I would really like to close that gap to get me closer to my goal of visiting all 50 states. Of the 6 states that I have not visited yet, 4 of them are in the so-called lower 48. The 4 states in the so-called lower 48 that I have yet to visit are Iowa, North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. So as I got to thinking about this a few months ago, I quickly came to the conclusion, well, I can knock those out in one trip because they're all in close proximity to one another. It didn't take long thinking about the trip to decide really the way to make the trip more enjoyable was to do it on a motorcycle. So that's how I arrived at the plan for this trip. I have already done quite a bit of planning for it. It's not entirely planned out. I'm leaving myself some wiggle room, and really, I would say pretty much the return trip isn't really planned out much. I have a rough idea of how I'm going to make my way back, and I'll research a little more to find things of interest. But overall, I'm just looking forward to the experience because this will be my first time to do a real long distance motorcycle trip. I've done several trips, I've just never traveled this far. All in, by the time I'm done with the trip, I believe I'll be in the neighborhood of 3,000 miles for the trip total. I wanted to share with you what the plans are, and so you have an idea of what might be coming up, and you could let me know any feedback you may have. Honestly, I've really enjoyed reading through comments. There have been a lot of people that have been kind enough to share their experiences traveling and their experiences riding, even if they don't travel, and I seriously find them very inspiring. It's nice to hear from other people and get their experiences. It makes me feel like people are really relating to stuff that I'm sharing when they share their own story. As I said, I am just a few weeks away from embarking on my trip. I will be doing it alone, and I'm really excited to see new places, new locations that I've never been to before. So that's my update. Just wanted to fill you in on some news and what will be coming in the future. And I hope you will stick around for that. For now, I'm lost. Thanks for watching, guys.